Today, let's do the problem 1528 from the Leetcode. It's called shuffle string. We'll be given a string S and an integer array indexes of the same length of the string. The string S will be shuffled such that the character at the ith position of the string will be moved to indexes I in the shuffled string. And we want to return the shuffled string. So for example, this one will be given a string called lit, as well as the indexes list that indicating the target position of the characters in the string. So for example, C, its indexes of the in the string is actually 0 now, but it will be moved to the first position, to the final string. It is very intuitive to come up with a simple solution that we just map the character in the string with its target position from the indexes list be given. And we'll just iterate from the very first to the end to finally make up our result string. But this will take O(n) in space complexity. Is there a better way to actually sort the string in place? For this particular case, we can think of the concept using cyclic sort. So what is the cyclic method here? The cyclic method is actually if we're given an unsorted sequence of numbers that's starting from 0 to n, but they're not sorted, and we want to sort it to an increasing order. For example, like this one will be given 3, 4, 2, 1, 0, and we want to sort it to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we can actually start from the very beginning of the sequence. Let's say I equals to 0. And we want to always check if I equals to numbers I, right? So the target numbers I should be 0, right? If the current index equals to the current number, that means it's the number is already in place. We do not need to make modification. And we keep doing that. And along the way, we will just swap the numbers and until it meets the condition. So for example, this one, 3, 4, 2, 1, 0, when I equals to 0, we check 0 is not equal to 3, right? So we're gonna swap 3 with the third position number. It's actually 1. So now next iteration, we come up with the 1, 4, 2, 3, 0. And still our index is pointing to I equals to 0, right? But 0 is still not equals to the current number 1. That means we have to swap the 0th position with the first position is actually 4. So for next iteration, we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 0. And still 0 is not equals to 4. That means we need to keep swapping 0 with the first element. It's actually 0 this time. So for this iteration, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have I equals to 0 and I equals to numbers I, which is 0. That means we successfully placed 0 in the correct order, in the correct position. And if we meet this condition, we can increase our pointer by 1 for next. So actually here is 1 here. So for next iteration, we have I equals to 1. We're gonna check the first position, which is 1. We meet the condition that 1 equals to 1, right? And we keep increasing it, and we found out all the numbers are already sorted. So eventually we put everything in order by doing this swapping in a cyclic fashion. What's the time complexity of this method? For this particular problem, it's O n, because we do swap at maximum of n minus 1 times, right? And each swap is O1 in time complexity. So in that way, we can actually sort everything in On and with constant time space complexity. So let us apply this cyclic sort method to this particular problem. So it's pretty straightforward to do that. First, we want to initialize our pointer, r equals to 0. And while I is less than the length of the indices, we will swap or we're first checking if I is not equals to indices I. And we will swap it indices I, and actually we can have a temp here. Let's say target equals to indices I, and we'll just swap it by using target. I'm sorry, indices I, indices target equals to indices target, indices I. And also we want to swap the string si or as target equals to as target and as I. But here in Python, because we'll be given a string cannot be edited with the index. So first we have to make it to a list. And we just finished the condition when I is not equals to the target, right? But what if I is equals to the target? We're just increasing I. So let's do return and join the list of S, and this will do the work. Let's see. Wrong. Yeah, passed. And let's go submit. Yeah, it passed. So the time complexity for this is On. Space complexity is On as well, because we convert string to list, but no extra space complexity. So that's how we solve this problem with cyclic sort method. Here you go. Okay.